Before Metroidvania became a genre, it was just an idea. A simple idea: explore a world at your own pace, find secrets, and grow stronger along the way. No one knew it would change 2D games forever. These 5 games didn't just refine that idea, they built the foundation for everything that came after. The word Metroidvania comes from 2 games, Metroid and Castlevania. But the genre truly took shape in 1994 when Nintendo released Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. At the time, most 2D games pushed players forward in a straight line. Super Metroid did the opposite. It gave players a massive world, very little guidance, and the freedom to explore at their own pace. Progress wasn't about reaching the next level, it was about learning the world. New abilities unlocked new paths, turning backtracking into discovery. This design choice changed 2D games forever and became the foundation of what we now call Metroidvania. Super Metroid is the game that started it all. It teaches players to pay attention to the world around them, not just rush forward. Every new ability changes how you move through the map. Old paths suddenly become new adventures. Backtracking isn't boring, it's part of the fun. Even after decades, the design still feels smart and intentional. This is where the idea of a 2D Metroidvania truly began. Symphony of the Night took the formula further by giving players more freedom. RPG elements let you build your own style, and the castle is not a straight path. Every corner holds secrets, and music and visuals make it unforgettable. This game didn't just improve Metroidvania design, it gave it a personality. Players could explore at their own pace, trying different weapons and strategies. Hollow Knight shows what modern Metroidvanias can do. Combat moves with a rhythm. Patience is as just important as speed. Every area has its own identity, its own story, and even moments of quiet that make you think. Secrets feel meaningful and rewarding. Years after release, players are still discovering new hidden areas. This game doesn't just test your skill, it encourages you to explore and be curious. Ori and the Will of the Wisps turns movement into something magical. The controls are so smooth, it feels like the character is part of you. Jumping, gliding, and dashing through the world feels natural and fun. Music and visuals make every moment emotional, almost like art in motion. Ori is a Metroidvania that touches both your hands and your heart. Dead Cells brings speed and energy to the genre. Combat is fast, precise, and keeps you constantly engaged. Procedural levels keep each one exciting, but it always feels fair. Dying isn't failure, it's part of learning and mastering the game. Dead Cells proves that 2D Metroidvania design can evolve without losing its soul. What all these games share isn't just exploration, it's trust. They trust the player to take their time, to learn, and to explore freely. Super Metroid taught us curiosity. Symphony of the Night showed us choice. Hollow Knight added depth. Ori made movement feel beautiful. Dead Cells pushed replayability and speed. Together, these 5 games define what it means to be a 2D Metroidvania. Pixel art indie games don't rely on massive budgets or realistic graphics, they rely on ideas. Some of the most important 2D games ever made were built with simple pixels, and they changed gaming forever. Today, we're looking at the greatest pixel art indie games of all time, games that define what indie 2D gaming truly means. Pixel indie games are built with focus and intention. Most are made by very small teams, sometimes just one person. That means every mechanic matters, every animation must communicate clearly. Pixel art isn't a limitation, it's a creative choice that puts gameplay, emotion, and atmosphere first. The games on this list didn't just succeed, they helped shape modern 2D game design. Undertale looks simple, but its design is deeply thoughtful. Instead of forcing combat, it gives players a choice. You can fight or you can show mercy. The game remembers your actions, characters react to your behavior, even the ending changes based on how you play. The pixel art is minimal but expressive, and the music carries emotion beautifully. Undertale proved that indie games could tell powerful stories without realism or complex visuals. It changed how developers think about player choice and consequence. Stardew Valley is calm, personal, and endlessly welcoming. Created almost entirely by one developer, it allows players to live at their own pace. You farm, explore, build relationships, and slowly grow your world. There is no rush, no pressure to win. The pixel art creates warmth and comfort. Seasons change, characters feel human and familiar. Stardew Valley proved that indie games don't need action to be meaningful. Sometimes peace and routine are the experience. Terraria is one of the deepest pixel art indie games ever made. It blends exploration, combat, crafting, and creativity into a massive 2D sandbox. Every world is different, every playstyle is valid. The pixel art keeps everything readable, even during chaos. Boss fights feel intense, exploration feels rewarding. Terraria showed that pixel indie games could grow for years and still remain relevant. It became a blueprint for long-term indie success. Katana Zero is sharp, fast, and unforgiving. Every movement matters, every mistake teaches timing and control. The pixel art cyberpunk style gives the game a modern cinematic feel. Time manipulation adds tension to every encounter. The fragmented storytelling keeps players thinking long after the game ends. Katana Zero proved that pixel art action games can feel stylish, modern, and intense. Hyper Light Drifter is pure atmosphere. It tells its story without words, using visuals, music, and world design. Every area feels mysterious and dangerous. Combat is precise and deliberate. Movement feels smooth and intentional. The pixel art is stunning, colorful, abstract, and emotional. The soundtrack reinforces the sense of loneliness and discovery. Hyperlight Drifter proved that pixel art can deliver deep emotion without dialogue. It's one of the strongest examples of visual storytelling in indie games. These games are very different, but they share the same core values. They respect the player. They reward curiosity. They focus on meaningful design. No wasted mechanics, no unnecessary systems. Together, they represent the best of pixel art indie gaming. Pixel art isn't retro, it's timeless. These games prove that great ideas will always outlive technology. If you love 2D games, indie creativity, and smart design, this is where it all comes together. Every gamer has played a platformer. Jumping, running, timing your movement, it's where gaming began. But the best platformers aren't just about jumping from point A to point B. They're about feel, the weight of a jump, the forgiveness of a landing, the satisfaction of mastering movement. These games didn't just exist in the platformer genre, they defined it. A great platformer lives or dies by movement, not graphics, not story, movement. The player needs to feel fully in control, every jump intentional, every fall deserved. The best platformers teach you through play. They don't explain mechanics with text. They let your hands learn the rules naturally. Precision, rhythm, and trust between player and game, that's what defines the genre. Nintendo defined platformers with Mario. Super Mario didn't just introduce jumping, it introduced momentum. Holding ground changes the jump. Timing matters more than speed. Levels are designed to teach mechanics silently. One idea explored fully, then replaced with the next. Even decades later, modern platformers still follow Mario's design philosophy. Clear rules, clear feedback, endless creativity. Celeste proves that difficulty doesn't have to be punishing. The controls are simple: jump, dash, climb. But the mastery comes from combining them perfectly. Death is instant, but so is retry. The game respects your time while demanding precision. Every challenge feels possible. Failure feels like feedback, not punishment. Celeste shows how modern platformers can be hard, fair, and deeply rewarding. Donkey Kong Country brought way to platformers. Movement feels heavy, but intentional. Rolling isn't just an attack, it's part of traversal. Levels flow when you play well. Miss a jump and the rhythm breaks. The game rewards confidence and timing, turning platforming into something almost musical. It's a masterclass in momentum-based design. Rayman Legends is pure movement joy. There is no grid-based stiffness here. Animations flow seamlessly into control. Levels are built around rhythm, sometimes literally synced to music. It proves that platformers don't need complexity to be brilliant. They need clarity, flow, and personality. Super Meat Boy strips platforming down to its raw core. No upgrades, no distractions, just you and the level. Movement is instant and unforgiving, but deaths are fast and informative. The game turns frustration into motivation. It challenges players to improve through pure mechanical skill. So now let's compare all the games. Platformers succeed when movement feels honest. Mario teaches fundamentals. Celeste teaches mastery. Donkey Kong teaches momentum. Rayman teaches flow. Super Meat Boy teaches precision. Different styles, same core principle. Great platformers make movement the reward. This is why platformers never disappear, and this is why these games defined the genre. Follow us for more 2D breakdowns because great design never gets old. See you in the next video.